Yo, it's me back at you again, real quick. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. And before I get started, I just want y'all to know I know how I spelled atmosphere. I was trying to be clever, so, you know, no grammar police. I knew what I was doing. So, as you all know and can see, Florida State fan here, but I'm not that removed from reality. There's been a lot of talk over the last few months about how unhappy FSU and Clemson are, add North Carolina and Miami to that, movement is amok. We just saw the Pac-12 die. We just saw the Big Ten get stronger. We saw the Big 12 survive. Now we get these rumblings out of Tallahassee of it's not if we move, it's when. So I just want to peel it back a little bit. Who's inviting Florida State? Who's inviting Clemson at this moment? If you're the SEC, you don't necessarily need to unless you just know that the Big Ten has something on the table, because you don't want them to infringe on your territory. But if you're the SEC, right, you already got the Gators. So you don't necessarily need Florida State from the standpoint of locking down a market. UCF's over in the Big 12, non-factor for the moment until they get successful, because I do think that they will be successful going forward. All right. Clemson. You already got South Carolina. Clemson is the better program. But what does Clemson add? From a rating standpoint, are Florida State and Clemson going to bring the type of ratings that Alabama brings or LSU, Georgia brings if they're not playing against one of those schools, right? So this is how the ACC can help themselves. One, make Notre Dame pick and choose a side. All their sports residing in the ACC besides football, which is the breadwinner. It's time. Shoulda get off the pot, for better or worse. Because we're going to be looking back in, say, 6 or 7 years, maybe, in the ACC as we know it may not exist. You may have SMU and Tulane and all those Pac-12 wannabes coming to the ACC because FSU, Miami, Clemson, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia Tech, and some others may have moved on to greener pastures. But with that being said, why delay it, right? Ask Notre Dame right now, join us or go. And if they choose to go, you got your answer, you move on. But this is the problem, right? You got to beat Notre Dame in the first place. Because since 2014, Notre Dame is 41-7 against the ACC, which includes a current 28-game winning streak for Notre Dame. So, they're playing 5 ACC teams a year. The 1 year they joined the ACC, they played for the ACC title against Clemson and made the playoff. So I don't want to hear any of this. As far as the ACC has potential, the ACC is SEC light at this point. Let's just be honest about it. You had FSU win the title back in 2013. You had Clemson win 2 since then. What other team has been a factor? We look at Miami joining back in 2004, and it was supposed to be the All Canes Conference, and they've played for one conference title, and that wasn't even against Florida State, which was the whole reason of putting them in separate divisions, so you could have those two face off in the title game, and that could be your ratings bonanza. It's not happening. So FSU has to win, first of all. Make yourself attractive. Why don't you beat NC State while we're at it? Like I said, it's time to force the ultimatum, and if I'm the SEC, why am I not looking at North Carolina and Virginia just to get some new territory? So the Big Ten just went out and got Washington. They just went and got Oregon to help pair with USC. So if I'm the SEC, granted, football drives the bus. We know that. But look at the Big 12 in basketball now. Kansas, Arizona, Texas Tech, Houston, Baylor, so on and so forth, mega conference going on over there. You know what I mean? So if I'm the SEC, you got Kentucky, Alabama, Tennessee, then it leaves a little bit to be desired. I'm sure I forgot somebody, but it's leaving a little bit to be desired. So if you could get, say, UNC and Virginia basketball, and most years Virginia is going to be a nice win in football. They're going to be an automatic win. Not necessarily Vanderbilt, but they've been down for a while. North Carolina comes with a little bit more prestige as long as Mac Brown is there, but he ain't going to be there forever. So you're potentially adding 2 new markets, 2 decent to mid football programs that aren't going to take away from the apple cart of Bama, Georgia, LSU. And now you got Texas and Oklahoma coming as well. And you're getting basketball to top it off. And there you go, Texas basketball. So there you go. I knew I was forgetting something. But, ladies and gentlemen, there is movement in the atmosphere. Atmosphere. See the spelling?